1 year ago today was our first conference for vocational performance. At that conference in Lincoln, I talked publicly for the first time about the Octagonal Mindset, something which I have been working on for so long and really passionate about. The Octagonal Mindset, as you can probably get from the title, has 8 different mindsets to it, and the first mindset is about overcoming the fear of failure. Now, if you have seen my post on Saturday, you will know that I've recently experienced the bitter heartbreak and pain that is failure when we set our sights on something, I set our hearts on achieving something and we fall short. And it is really painful. If you watch my post, just be warned, there's snot and tears and all sorts. And I think for me it was really important to post on Saturday because we can disguise failure, what that feels like for the person, and we can put a positive spin on it. And those things are really important to do. They're really important to do, to understand what we learn and the courage involved in the process. They are really important. But we also need to pause, stop, and just grieve and let that person grieve for a moment, because if you've experienced it yourself, it is heart sickening, and we have to acknowledge that pain. And when we don't acknowledge pain, when we just push it down or try to label it as something else, it's never a good thing. So it's so important that we don't disguise it, and that's why I shared so publicly and unfiltered what I was feeling and experiencing on Saturday. And thank you so much to everyone who has encouraged me. I really appreciate that. And you will probably not be surprised to know that I will be doing another Ironman. Hopefully within the next year, I will be on that start line again, and I will be giving it my best shot again. I wasn't able to say that on Saturday. I wasn't able to say that on Sunday. I wasn't able to say that Monday or Tuesday. But today, because I allowed myself to express my disappointment, I was able to say that and to look forward and go again. And I think for me, that's what's so important, that we must allow ourselves to talk about what failure means to that person and what they are experiencing and what they are feeling, to then enable them to move on from that. Because until we take stock and really reflect on what it means and the disappointment, then it's really hard to move on. But when we do that, we can acknowledge the learning, acknowledge the process, strengthen ourselves and move forward. But it's so important that we don't fear failure. Failure is not something to be avoided. You can look back and I am so proud of what I achieved on Saturday. What it took me to get to that point. I had to work so hard to get there. I'm so proud. And the thought of the failure, to go through again the same thing again, is terrifying. But it's worth it. It is worth it. Failure is not something we need to hide from. It's not something we need to disguise. It's something that we can learn from and grow through. We don't need to fear failure. So if you have experienced disappointment, setback, you've fallen short, or failure or something recently, can I just encourage you to just pause and take stock for a moment and just acknowledge the heartbreak and the disappointment that you feel. But don't stop there. Don't stop there. Once you've done that, go forward, move forward. You might decide you don't want to attempt the same thing again. That's okay. But don't stay in the place of disappointment and heartbreak. Move on. Take your next step. So if it's failure you've experienced or disappointment or whatever it is, be encouraged today. There is a future, there is hope for you, there is more out there for you. Be brave, be bold, take your next step. And if you fail again, you fall short again, if you're disappointed again, don't worry. At least you know you can look back and you've given it your best shot. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go again. I'm going to give it my best shot. And hopefully I'll be able to cross the finish line. And if I don't, I don't. But I'm going to give it a go. So just try.